edition of the MDM podcast. I'm Mike Hockett, our executive editor. Charlotte, North Carolina-based Vallen Distribution has frequented MDM's news headlines over the past several years, which includes the MRO Supplies distributor's $350 million acquisition of Wesco Integrated Supply from Wesco International earlier this spring. But that's not all Vallen has going on lately. Formerly part of Sonepar, Vallen was sold to private equity firm Nautic Partners in 2022. It joined the buying group AD. It earned the Industrial Supply Association's 2023 Innovation Impact Award, and it just joined the National Association of Wholesaler Distributors, among other activity. All of that and more has created a lot of momentum for Vallen, so it was timely to have company president Chuck Delph on the podcast to discuss the distributor's aggressive positioning and why it's poised for sustained growth. Enjoy. Chuck, thanks for joining the MDM podcast.
Thanks, Mike. It's great to be here.
I'm sure that we do have plenty of MDM listeners who are familiar with yourself and Vallen, but I always like to start with an introduction. Can you take me through your career background?
Yeah, this is going to be the simple part. I've been at Vallen now for 6 years and joined in 2018 as the president, largely to lead it through a planned transformation. And prior to that, spent 28 years in tech distribution, working for arguably one of the best electronics distributors in the world, which is Avnet Electronics. So 28 years at Avnet, and then the last 6 years as part of the Vallen team.
And Vallen Distribution suddenly looks a bit different now than it did just a few months ago, now that it has completed its $350 million acquisition of Wesco Integrated Supply from Wesco International. We'll dig into that transaction and its impact in just a bit, but can you first give me an overview of who Vallen Distribution is and what it looks like today?
Yeah, Mike, in the simplest terms, we're a broad line industrial distributor for MRO, safety, and metalworking product as well as services. We couple that with an extensive offering of customized supply chain solutions, including now being the single largest integrated solutions provider in the world.
All right, so let's jump into the acquisition. I'm going to recap it in a nutshell here. Vallen announced back on February 23rd that it would buy Wesco Integrated Supply, which was the industrial supplies distribution unit of electrical distribution giant Wesco, for $350 million. Vallen then announced the closing of that transaction on April 1st. And that deal gained Vallen predominantly all of Wesco's industrial MRO integrated supply business in North America and Europe, which had 2023 sales of about $784 million. So this is a major addition to Vallen, which was number 18 on MDM's 2023 top distributors list for the industrial supplies companies. So Chuck, besides those basic details, can you take me through exactly what Vallen gained in Wesco Integrated Supply?
Yeah, Mike, the most exciting thing is we gained an incredible team. Already we've been able to expense kind of a like-for-like type culture and feeling and sense of pride around what we do in integrated supply. And integrated supply is a bit of an art form. So gaining knowledgeable people that are passionate about the service we provide and how we do that, critical in our ability to deliver on our tagline, innovation, improved value. But we're also excited. We pick up some best practices. We obviously have customer expansion and growth that comes from this. We think this allows for even better supplier alignment for us. So probably all peers of the pillars, I'm excited about everybody's going to gain from this opportunity for the two companies to come together. So it is very exciting, not only for Vallen, but I think for the industry as well.
Yeah. I'm always fascinated by the M&A process in distribution, and especially when it comes to major deals like these. I'm sure that you can't share everything involved with that transaction, but I was hoping you could touch on its inception in terms of how Vallen first decided it wanted to pursue Wesco Integrated Supply and how those initial discussions with them began.
Yeah, Mike, I probably have to walk back a little bit because you kind of think about this and it just makes natural sense. It's kind of yeah, that makes sense. But you have to remember that both companies were once held by large electrical competitors. So even though it might have made sense, you've got two competitors who arguably have two pieces of business that might make sense together, but maybe not naturally a good partnership to be established. So as Vallen spun out on their own with the support from Nautic partners, then it only became natural that those conversations would make sense. And so not diving into the gory details, this is just one where like it makes sense for the industry, makes sense for Vallen, and I really think it creates again that value for all the parties, as I mentioned earlier. And I'm really excited about the fact that two companies are coming together, and again, I think it makes sense.
You've already touched on this, but overall, what does Wesco Integrated Supply do for Vallen that maybe it couldn't do before, or just maybe not do as well?
Yeah, I think the essence here is size and scale in this space matters. So what we're creating, along with the specialization of kind of customized supply chain solutions with product expertise, as well as services, and really creating a uniqueness in the place that the combined companies, I really believe, starts to put positions within the minds of not only the customers, but the entire community as to what the value of what we can bring to the market and why we're different, right? Our business is unique. And so I do think the combination really brings focus to why Vallen, why integrated supply, and how an industrial distributor can provide these customized solutions and really be in a position to accelerate value in the market. So yeah, we're a broadline distributor focused on product categories, but we also recognize that when we win in that space, we have the opportunity to earn even more of that customer share and really help support things like predicting the supply chain, helping to manage transactional workload, which in a lot of cases is keystrokes or footsteps on the factory floor, and do that by wrapping services and solutions around that. So the combined WIS and Vallen is extremely important because of the size and scale that we create, along with continuing to be in the position to create customization around the supply chain solution for our customer partners. So a little bit of a long answer, but I think it makes sense as to why this is so unique, and really adds focus, I think, by the combined entity that separately maybe not as powerful, but collectively probably like lightning in a bottle.
It definitely sounds like it takes what Vallen was already doing and takes it to a whole nother level. So it's pretty cool to see. Getting the transaction complete is one part of the battle, but I know integration is a whole different animal. So if you can touch on what does the integration process look like in the months or year ahead here?
Yeah, for me, the first focus of, and having some experience with this, 28 years at Avnet, we did a lot of consolidation. I, in fact, was part of that a number of times. My focus at any level I was at in the Avnet organization at the time was we got to get the team squared away. We got to get them comfortable, have them come together. We're working on how we build community. How do we support each other? How do we are in a position to be able to answer those questions that our team has? So integration for us in the beginning was a lot around communication. And I hope that our team recognizes and sees the benefit of what we've done. We've also moved quickly on the structures. So we've announced our leadership structure, both at level 1 as level 2. And we'll continue to learn on who the best people, best opportunities, best situations are. And so I think, to me, that is phase 1. And we're working steadily to get that completed with the team. When you take a step back, now it becomes a little bit more intricate work. You have to get to a place of understanding, hey, what are the best practices? What tools do each partner have or each division have? And how do we look at that going forward? Best practices, best process, and so forth. So it's exciting times. Integrations are fun when you can get the first part right. And the first part is getting the teams to collectively understand the strategy and the vision of the combined entity, and then collectively working together to build those plans to execute while leveraging, again, those best practices, best tools, best process, and so forth.
And switching gears here, this acquisition was certainly the biggest thing Vallen has going on right now, but it's not the only thing. And at last year's Industrial Supply Association convention, Vallen earned ISA's 2023 Innovation Impact Award in recognition of the company's employee resource program. Can you describe what that program is and what it has done for Vallen since its inception?
Yeah, thanks for recognizing that. In fact, I just accepted that award, earlier this week on behalf of our team while we were at ISA.
Yeah.
So it was great to get on stage and recognize this is an innovation award around what we do to support our organization and our team. And so employee resource groups for us, this is not something political. It's really meant as an opportunity for us to continue to build our company through the impacts and the lives of our team. And so we started off with what really started with ISA that led into our Vallen Vicky, which is our women's employee resource group. And from there, we created a Black employee resource group called Berg. And then since then, our third employee resource group, Birth, which is Salute, which is supporting all of our veterans or anybody who has a family member or so forth, but supporting each other. And the keys to these employee resource programs are really to support. Again, what I talked about earlier is we talked about onboarding the WIS team is, our most important value, our most important attribute is our team. And so I want our team to be able to come to work, to be in a position where they can see people like them and they can be who they are to be successful in their business and not have to try to, be in a position where they're not feeling comfortable. We want that. I think we would all note, especially in the distribution business, that people is the differentiator, the secret sauce. And I think we all recognize, especially after the last 4 or 5 years, that recruiting talent isn't going to get any easier, especially as more and more of the baby boomer generation retires. We're going to be fighting for talent. And I want Vallen, from an innovation point of view, to be leading from an opportunity that supports our team, and puts ourselves in a position where we're able to retain, recruit, and support the very best team in the industry. So those type of things really help us live up to our promise of delivering on a winning team as part of our strategic pillars.
We mentioned ISA a couple times, and yeah, we both just got back from the ISA 24 convention, which was April 15th through the 17th in Charlotte. Can I get some quick thoughts on you from that show and what the energy was there, especially given that Vallen was one of the lead sponsors of the event? And given all the momentum that Vallen has right now, I'm sure that you guys were having a lot of great discussions with people interested in, the acquisition and just what the company's been up to.
Yeah, it was a home game for us, right? So we're based in Charlotte. The show was in Charlotte. We were able to bring a number of members of our teams. We were obviously one of the sponsors. We sponsored the opening event at the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
It was awesome. Yeah.
It was, Mike. It's a great time for. And there's a lot going on. There's been a lot that has gone on over the years, and I think for our team, it was probably not only a celebration of the things that we're doing with the WIS announcement, which everybody talks about, but more, if you take that away, what Vallen has been doing over the last 2 to 3 years is an aggressive position in the marketplace. So it was a little bit of just being able to celebrate what we're doing, but in community with many of our competitors, but of course our supplier community as well. So I think it's a great event. It allows for a lot of community building, a chance to probably connect with a lot of suppliers that you might not be able to connect with maybe outside of maybe video conferencing and so forth. There's a number of tracks that go on around our emerging leaders and some of the activities there. I thought the breakout sessions at the ISA group were very focused on learning and key things that are attributable to the market now. So, we support ISA very heavily. We like the things that Brendan and the team are doing, and we were in a position this year to really take advantage of it. So we did. So thanks for that.
Yeah, I thought it was a great show. The networking is especially just that it's hard to beat those kind of networking opportunities to, like I said, there's only so many chances throughout the year where you get to see a lot of suppliers and long-term partners at once. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, Mike, I mean, COVID's changed everything, right? So maybe we've gotten better in some ways because we're leveraging technology to connect face to face, or maybe with just on conference calls. But it has taken a lot of the face-to-face meetings, out of place at least as often. And so I think those types of opportunities where we can get together and really kind of collaborate both as the suppliers, but also as an industry, is really important to the health of the industry. So kudos to Brendan and the team and the job they did this week.
Definitely. At the end of 2022, Vallen announced a partnership with Datanomics, which is a software provider that automates the collection and analysis of manufacturing data and provides insights in real time. And I know data sharing can be a point of contention between manufacturers and distributors, but it seems that the ones who are proactively making it work seem to be gaining a lot of benefits from it. Can you touch on what this partnership has done for Vallen on that front?
Yeah, and Mike, so Datanomics is one example of a number of investments or partnerships that we've created, be in that position to continue to stay innovative and continue to prove value to our customers. I go back to, that's our brand promise, that's our tagline. And so as the richness of data continues to get better, and the ability to leverage machine learning and now more and more discussion around what AI can do, we think those partnerships like a Datanomics really help us accelerate our value proposition in the marketplace. That goes right along what I talked about earlier, which is we're customizing the supply chain solutions. These types of tools allow us for predictability. In particular, with Datanomics, allows us to predict when you might need product again. It allows for productivity. So these investments that we can drive machine learning, leveraging AI, are going to help us really support not only Vallen, but our customers and our suppliers on that ability to remove keystrokes, or if in the factory floor, how to remove footsteps. That's transactional work that honestly they can't afford. And we respect that. We want to support that. And it also leads to profitability because we become much more, integrated, if you will, with our customers, because not only are we delivering products, but we're bringing the service to bear with those products. We're bringing the solutions around the supply chain to support that. And when you accelerate innovation, you accelerate disciplined process management, it is going to certainly accelerate the value that we provide to the customers and to our supplier partners.
Also in 2022, which was a very busy time for Vallen, Vallen was sold from Sonepar to private equity firm Nautic Partners, which you've mentioned earlier, which really marked a new chapter for Vallen. And previous chapters included Vallen's roots as Industrial Distribution Group and Hagemeyer North America. You joined as president of Vallen North America at the start of 2020 when it was still owned by Sonepar. COVID-19 arrived a couple months later, and then Vallen was sold to Nautic in early 2022. So that had to be a very interesting stretch in your career. I was hoping you could take me through what that was like moving through those three major events in just a short span.
Yeah, I mean, with some of our core values being, resilient, adaptable, gritty, we came through each of those paths as a stronger and better company. And I think it's because, again, I pull through this message, really talking about our team, that they found a way, right? Whether it was understanding and accepting that we needed to separate from our previous ownership to a new structure that would help invest in the future of where Vallen could be and what we could ultimately become as a standalone business, to thriving through decisions that we made around our transformation, largely because of COVID, and then obviously becoming part of the Nautic organization. Yeah, I don't want to do them again, Mike, but I would tell you we became a better business, a better partner, and a better company, both from a productivity, profitability, and our ability to support our customers. And we learned a lot, and we executed well. And I think it's what's built on the foundation of why our team has so much confidence and so much aggressiveness right now to really proliferate our value proposition in the market, is because they've seen what they've been able to overcome, and they've done so by being better, not only for our customers, but for each other as well. So extremely exciting that we got through it. Don't want to do it again, but we learned from it and we built from it. I think what you can get a sense from the excitement in my voice is that it was achieved because our team pulled together and figured it out.
We already touched on Vallen's ISA participation. The company also joined the buying group AD in 2022, and it just joined the National Association of Wholesaler Distributors as a member. So this and the other initiatives that we've touched on, plus the Wesco Integrated Supply acquisition, it all paints the picture of a very proactive approach from Vallen over the past few years. Would you say there's a specific goal in mind for the kind of company Vallen is looking to be or positioned to?
Yeah, I'd like to think in many ways because of our core values, because of our team, because of the value creation that we've had in the marketplace, that in many ways we are the company we want to be. At the same time, as I kind of talk through what we're doing with some of the partners around what is the journey of AI and machine learning and how to better leverage data, we'll continue to invest there. We think those are areas that accelerate our ability to deliver on those customized supply chain solutions. They allow us to deliver not only product, but services around those products that we serve. And I think, I had a mentor at one point that said the secret to success in distribution is consistently do the right things over time, and you'll deliver on value creation for all of your partners. And that includes your customers, your suppliers, and most importantly, your own organization. So, Mike, yeah, we're aggressive. I think that's what you said. And, we are extremely aggressive, and I think that's because our team really feels like they're creating something different in the market and something that's exciting for our customers and our suppliers, and therefore that makes it exciting for them. When you're winning, you feel good, and clearly our team is on quite a streak right now of successes that they've created. So very proud of them.
Well, that is all the planned questions I had for you, Chuck. But before we sign off, is there anything else about Vallen that you think our audience of distribution executives should know that we haven't covered already, or just any other general parting words here?
Yeah, the theme will continue, and I'd probably just make this message as much as I understand there's a broad audience. Um, these are always great opportunities for me to recognize and thank the Vallen team, which now includes the WIS team. I think, Mike, if you had that opportunity to just spend a week with us, you'd see something different. You'd feel that culture. We got a phrase we call "We Are Vallen." It really gets us excited and pumped up to be in a position to deliver on the promises that we make. So, I'm excited to thank the team. We're proud to be a part of this industry. I think this industry has a lot more excitement to it than I think sometimes given credit. And that when we really get a chance to explain distribution to people about what how we play in the market and what we do, I think it's a much more exciting thing than sometimes people give it credit for. So our ability to recruit is for all of us to embrace the fact that this is an exciting industry that has plenty of opportunity for career growth and plenty of opportunity to be in a position to thrive not only today but into the future. So keep after it, keep going, and obviously Vallen's going to be a part of that as we continue on our journey. So, Mike, thanks again. Really appreciate the opportunity to be with you.